Welcome back, everybody. I used to be a fan of Asmongold. I've been open about this. It's a little bit of a shameful admission of mine, but you have to understand. Well, yes, he's always been cringe and, gross, slobby, kinda weird guy. He wasn't always this hateful, bitter, rage-baiting, sarcastic, disingenuous loser that he is today. He didn't used to be so mean and toxic either. Like, his toxicity used to be a lot more, I don't know how else to describe it other than self-aware. You know, it feels like Asmongold at some point, I don't know if I don't want to speculate on it like being the death of his parents or something, but something happened to Asmongold. Maybe it's just him getting older. He got a lot more bitter, and it feels as though, having been a fan of him once, you know how Anna Kasparian, we all know that she's not being real with her right-wing switch-up because a lot of the talking points that she's using now are ones that she has debunked verbatim with indisputable factual evidence in the past. Like, it's not like she could have changed her mind. Like, it's not just that she had that opinion, it's that she had done the research, seen the data, knows how viable the sources are, used that data to make that argument, and then once the money was available, started chasing the money and changed up her opinion, and had the opposite opinion, but this time with no data to back up her new one. Asmongold is much the same way. Not because he's chasing money. I actually very much don't think he's chasing money, which is what makes this all the more sinister, ironically. We're used to covering a lot of grifters, like Anna Kasparian, who we just brought up. Asmongold's not a grifter, though. Something is motivating him to do this, where he's abandoned his previously held reasonable positions. He's gone from saying things like, God, I remember back in the day he'd react to videos from trans YouTubers, because there were a lot of trans women who made really good MMO YouTube videos about FF14 and WoW, and he'd react to them on stream, and he'd enforce being respectful to them in his chat. If anyone misgendered the creator or said anything transphobic, he would call them out, bully them in front of the entire chat, and then ban them in front of everybody. The fact that he's gone from that to where he is now, no, I don't think it's genuine. No. Now, Asmongold was so self-aware and so with it just a few years ago, and then now he's like this. Something's happened. Either he is gone villain arc, where, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Asmongold is so depressed behind the scenes that he's gone full villain arc, and he's like, I don't give a fuck about money, I've got enough to retire, I could never spend all this money in a million years, but I've got this massive platform, and I could just retire, or I could go out with a bang. How about I just go crazy? Just say the wildest, most insane things, become the most destructive force in politics, and see how far I can go before Twitch is just forced to ban me, or the government has to shut me down or something. I genuinely think Asmongold has so much fuck you money that he's just acting as a force of chaos. The some men just want to watch the world burn type thing, you know? Because I think that in the past he was too reasonable and too self-aware for this to be a genuine opinion change. Either something in his brain has switched, either he's just developed depression or is dealing with like a mental degenerative disease, or he's fully committed to an unironic villain arc. Like full I'm the Joker now type deal. Black mold in the wall? Is there any actual scientific evidence that black mold affects your brain cognition? Because as far as I know, it just kills you. I don't know. Anyway. If you end up enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. It helps a ton. I appreciate it a lot. Subscribe and ring the bell icon if you want to see more from me in the future. And make sure to join my fan Discord if you haven't already. Be a part of the community. But with that said, I've got a video here from a really good creator. I'm actually subbed to him. He is called... Well, it didn't pop up there for you, but he's called Conduit. And he made this video. He's done videos like this before. Specifically, he did a really good one on Hassan, but this one he did on Asmongold. I spent 1 week watching Asmongold, and now my walls are full of alarm clocks. If you know Asmongold, you know what that is referencing. Now, he did this type of video on Hassan, where like the format is that he watches a week of their stream from beginning to end, and basically summarizes everything they cover, the main points and arguments they make, and notably, when they make something up, lie, mischaracterize, or just get something factually provably wrong. And showcase with just how much frequency their audiences, Hassan and Asmongold in this case, are being fed misinfo on a nearly non-stop basis whenever they go to their favorite political slop streamer. So let's take a look. Let's give it a watch. Link to the Conduit video down below in the description. This channel is very much worth your sub. This channel is highly underrated. 10k subs? Really? Really? Listen, guys, I don't want to be too self-deprecating or anything, but, like, this guy deserves way more than, like, 10% of my sub count. Y'all should hop on over there and send some subs, okay? This is some good content. Let's get right into it, shall we?
There's been a lot of excitement about bringing back slavery. It seems like we won't have to. If you steal from a store, instant mandatory prison time. I would do mandatory prison labor, and I would punish the people that wouldn't do it. But I would...
So... oh, fuck. Where do I even begin? It's clips like that that tell me Asmongold is not being serious. Like, he's playing a villain character right now. Knowledgeably. Like, fully cognizantly playing a villain character. This is a man who has gone on rants telling stories back during the WoW days about how he would just engage in casual criminal activity throughout his entire childhood. And how proud he is of it. This is a guy who talked about how when he was a kid, he thought about taking classes for criminal justice, and his dad said, wait. We're not those guys. We're the other guys. In reference to the fact that their family is not with the cops. Their family is aligned with the criminals. In the grand scheme of things. And it's like, how do you come from that and take pride in that and then unironically say shit like this radically pro-authoritarian crackdown on crime? Like, you steal something, you should be executed type shit. It's like, okay, how do you go that... like, you gotta be playing a character. Like, you're turn the dial up to 11 on purpose.
Would actually be the most pro-freedom president ever. In general, there was a big protest yesterday. People broke into the Capitol building, did all kinds of bad shit. Most reasonable people look at this and view it as a disgrace. This is the...
This is back before Asmon decided to become a villain.
Gutex.
So you're seeing real Asmongold here. This is a clip of real Asmongold.
Reasonable people look at this and view it as a disgrace. This is the Gutex. Is there going to be civil unrest today? It is about as close to a call to violence as possible. That is almost verbatim what Aragorn has said in Lord of the Rings in Helm.
So this is Asmongold supporting Twitch banning massive streamer Gutex, who is the Pog emote. That's him. They banned him permanently because he was celebrating and making excuses for the J6ers. This was like a week after J6. This was Asmongold defending Twitch, banning a streamer for being pro J6. When I say it's a massive 180, that's what I mean. Like, he was pretty with it a few years ago.
Deep. There's a lot of people out there that get left behind by the system. You know, they get themselves into these like real deep conspiracy theories, right? Some people find Jesus, some people find Alex Jones, some people find Antifa, but the end result of all of these things is dogmatic behavior. It's a vicious cycle where like you get crazier and then more people don't want to talk to you, and more people don't want to talk to you, so you get crazier, and then more people don't want to talk to you because you're even crazier, and then you get even crazier than that. I think anybody who stepped foot inside that Capitol building yesterday should be charged. There is a process to changing how things are. Is it right to kill terrorists? Not without a trial. You don't just shoot people randomly. Who determines who a terrorist is? The person with the gun? What happens when they're wrong? Do you ever think about...
This is what Asmongold sounded like when I was a fan of him, by the way. This is back when he played WoW. Obviously, he's playing WoW right here. This is how he talked about politics when I watched him, when I was a fan of him. This changed entirely after his coverage of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I watched Asmongold on a near daily basis until the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. He stopped playing video games at that point and started exclusively covering that, and from that point on, He's rarely booted up a game on stream. He's usually filtered out of it within an hour or two and back to reacting to some nonsense on Twitter. Like, I want you guys to remember everything about the way he's speaking in this opening clip here, down to just the way he speaks, the way he forms his sentences and talks about an issue. Like, there's a sincerity behind it. He doesn't just make a simple statement and say, yeah. Nowadays, he just says, I think they should all be deported. All of them. Yeah. That's how he talks about things now, when he's discussing an issue. But listen to how he's talking about these issues here. Like, down to the sentence structure. It's like a different person is speaking. This is what I mean when I say I know for a fact that he is intentionally playing a character and intentionally being the biggest villain he can possibly be. He knows what he's doing is wrong, and he's doing it on purpose. And it's not for money. That's what's so sinister about it. It's not even for money.
Not without a trial. You don't just shoot people randomly. Who determines who a terrorist is? The person with the gun? What happens when they're wrong? Do you ever think about this? We have a system for dealing with people that break the law and are threats to society. Use the fucking system.
Like, the way he talks is, like, not even about issues, but just the way he talks. The way he forms his sentences is different now. It's like he's completely playing a different character. It's almost like he's become a flanderized version of what people thought Asmongold was. Like, people who didn't watch Asmongold thought he was back then.
I don't even know where to begin with how to describe Asmongold as someone who's never heard of him, the dead rat he used as an alarm clock, or the fact that he's one of the biggest streamers in the world, likely because of the mindset that would use a dead rat as an alarm clock and freely admit to it. I will say that if it weren't for his politics, he'd probably be the platonic ideal.
The biggest content creator black pill is when you realize there's a reason why all of the most successful creators are massive degenerate pieces of shit, and it's because the internet rewards being a massive degenerate piece of shit. When you make that realization as a content creator on the internet, you're just like, fuck.
Of a streamer. Someone who can spend hours a day enthusiastically yapping about anything, but mainly video games.
The ultimate black pill.
Been a similar experience to reconnecting with an old friend. But then you hear the political takes and it becomes less like reconnecting and more like getting cornered at the high school reunion. Still, the man dominates in the streaming space with 2.2 million followers on Twitch, 30,000 concurrent viewers, and over 4 million subscribers on YouTube, despite never really changing up his core format, where some streamers will grow into new settings, bigger guests, more production value, fancier shot callers. Asmongold's brief expansions have found him ultimately reverting back to his starting point. What bits of Asmongold I've encountered myself are the clips that get passed around on social media, so I want to see whether they were a good representation of what he actually believes.
I will say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Or if he's just been taken out of context all this time. And so, I watched it.
I mean, he's baiting, He's absolutely intentionally rage baiting. He's playing the most villainous character he can, and he wants to get clipped, and he wants to have armies of progressives online outraged at what he's saying. And in a way, we're taking the bait just by talking about him, but it's kind of an unwinnable situation if you're on the left, because you either just ignore one of the internet's largest platforms being used to spread far-right propaganda to a very impressionable audience, or you take his bait and give him what he wants, which is the content for his stream that he gets from people calling him out and him Mott and Baileying and saying, oh, look, they took the bait, guys, they took the bait.
Streams for a week, and I'm gonna tell you what I learned. And if you enjoy my suffering, please subscribe to my Patreon, no obligation. Starting in 2026, I'm gonna start providing more rewards there than just the opportunity to give me money, which
Support
I
him
do
on
greatly
Patreon.
appreciate.
He would not be streaming if he didn't get an income out of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think he turned off ad revenue and donations. I could be wrong about this, but, like, let me check that, actually. Asmongold turned off donations. Am I mixing him up with another streamer? Okay, no, he did not turn off donations. No, but he has spoken out against massive sudden donations like 1,000 gifted subs, suggesting viewers should use their money better. While another big streamer, Moist Critical, did turn off his donations in late 2025, urging fans to donate to charities instead because he makes enough money. Okay, so I might have been mixing them up because I know that Pokimane and Critical did that. Okay. My bad, my bad. But yeah, I mean, he definitely makes money from it, but like, okay. I'm talking to people whose only knowledge of Asmongold are his political takes, okay? So I need y'all to trust me. If you don't know Asmongold outside of his nonsense political takes, just trust me, please. I watched a lot of Asmongold, okay? I was a big fan of his. One of the most indisputable facts about Asmongold is that he lives like a hermit. He lives like a miserly hermit. He grew up very, very poor, and he's not very comfortable with any form of change. Like, he's hyper autistic about change, even so much as like a change in diet, a change in clothing, even change that is objectively better, right? Like, he was resistant to replacing his shitty old PC with a new one, even though he had millions of dollars to pay for a top-of-the-line new gaming PC. He just didn't want to get a new PC because change is scary. This is a man who has all the money in the world, but doesn't buy any new clothes, doesn't buy a new car, has lived in the same house, the same shitty house he grew up in, no big home renovations, no new anything. He does videos around his house. The other streamers have come to visit him. He doesn't have a secret home anywhere. Like, he's dated multiple big streamers who he no longer dates, who've all confirmed that's how he lives. He lives in filth in his old house he grew up in a pretty low-income neighborhood, pretty, like, cheap house, because he grew up poor, he's super familiar with it, he hasn't improved his palate, he eats, like, $3 skirt steaks, and a baked potato that he cooks in the microwave for most of his meals if it's not direct delivery from fast food places. This is not a man who is doing it for the money. Because he lives a life, like, he has so much money, he could never spend it. Like, there's a lot of rich people who could never spend their wealth in their lifetimes, don't get me wrong. But when you're a multi-millionaire, and you live off of effectively $1,500 a month, you really could never spend it in your whole lifetime. Like, when your expensive spendy months is like $2,000 in the month, it's like, yeah, you're... This is not a guy who is motivated by money, because what the fuck would the money be for? That's what's sinister about this, though. Like, to you guys, all that computes is that he must be grifting and trying to do this to get the money out of it, but that's truly not why he's doing this. The reason is probably even more sinister, because doing this for money is an understandable thing, but doing this just because you've truly decided to embrace being a villain, which is what I think he's done, is a level of evil that goes beyond just trying to get your bag. Like, when you already have your bag, and you decide, you know what? I've got a lot of money. I've got more money than I could ever want. So, I could just retire. But how about instead I use my power to just create a whole lot of entertaining chaos on my way out? That's what Asmongold is doing, I think. And I think that's even more evil than just throwing away your morals and chasing the bag.
Oh man, another day, huh? Another fucking day.
We begin where we'll end, in Asmongold's attic, and much like the Shel Silverstein poem, though the house is dark and shuttered, I can see someone inside looking out.
Oh. Oh god. Oh shit.
Gumdr, name a VTuber without the letter B. Iron Mouse, literally in 1 second. Yeah, Iron Mouse, Fillion, Silvervale. Who is this retard? Anyway, it's gotta just be engagement bait, right? It just pissed me off. I saw it, right? Well, that's true. Yeah, being fat is disgusting. But, you know, unfortunately, Twitch doesn't agree with me.
If you were looking for some...
Notice, by the way, you know how I pointed out the way he spoke and just formed sentences and presented himself in general? Like how it was at the start of the video when we saw old 3 to 4 years ago Asmongold, back when J6 happened. And now you see the way he talks now. He's not even talking in the same way. Like don't listen to the things he's saying, listen to the way he's talking and how his sentence structure is like a different person completely. It's like he's completely like what's the word for it? He's method acted himself into a completely flanderized version of what people that didn't watch Asmongold thought he was.
Kind of filter between the mouth and the mind. For better or worse, you're in the wrong place. Probably should have warned you earlier, but
when do we boycott Twitch? I mean, you are right now. There are millions of dollars that get evaporated from Twitch because they have to pay for my web hosting.
it surprised me to find out it's true that the web hosting for a major streamer is this expensive. However, that's a cost Twitch definitely understands and accepts, given that they...
This is why there will... I've had it explained to me by some people that are in the industry that there will never actually... There can actually never, ever, ever be a competitor to YouTube or Twitch. It literally can't happen. It never will, and it can't. It actually can't. It's not possible. People have no... It's like trying to understand distances in space. That's how incapable humans are of quantifying in their brains how massive the gulf is. The amount of investment required to start a video hosting platform like Twitch or YouTube that can compete is... The level of like investment without any hope of a payoff is so massive. It was only during the time when YouTube and Twitch started and the dot-com bubble was getting big and the internet bubble was blowing up that companies were willing to put down money on these websites like Google did for YouTube, invest as much as they did, and turn it into the platform that it is. You can't do that today. Only when it happened in that small window in the early to mid 2000s could that have been a thing that you could do. Once YouTube and Twitch became the number one, the window closed. It's not possible to make... It will never happen. There will never be an alternative to Twitch and YouTube. If they shut down, there won't even be an alternative. Like, making a website that can do what YouTube does is impossible. It costs so much money, no one can do it without taking a severe loss. Not even Elon Musk. Not even Elon Musk could afford to do it. I'm not joking. That is how big it is. So yeah, to be fair, yeah, to host Asmongold's stream and stream his live stream to 35,000 people for, what, like 8 hours a day, every day? Yeah, Amazon's probably spending tens of millions a year just to host Asmongold's stream. Easily. But they're probably making, like, easily more than that. That's why they don't ban him.
They've had more than one opportunity to drop Asmongold, and CEO Dan Clancy has a well-known deference for Hassan, who's on the...
Maybe Netflix could manage it? No. Well, I mean, the reason Netflix could maybe manage it is because it's a competitor that started at the same time. You have to understand, during the early 2000s to mid-2000s, a bunch of startup companies began on the internet that were centered around making websites, and then they started talking to large corporations like Alphabet or Google in order to get acquired. It was just a bunch of college-age startup guys making a cool concept, hoping to sell it for millions, a massive payout to a large corporation, and hope that corporation maybe does something with it. Who cares? We got our money. And that's what YouTube was. A bunch of college students made their little startup project. YouTube took off. They successfully sold it to Google. And then Google invested immense amounts of money into it because they knew there's no competition. YouTube's the number one. And they put so much more money into it and made it so much bigger and better that now no one can repeat what they did. Mostly because the landscape is just different. That like internet tech CEO, or not tech CEO, that internet tech startup era, it's just different now than what it was back then. You can't do what was possible back then that allowed YouTube and Twitch to happen. Netflix also came about in that same era through the exact same means. Netflix was a startup, it got sold to a big company, and that big company invested at a massive loss for a decade until it became the big profitable product it is today.
Opposite end of the political spectrum. In the lead up to talking about Hassan's China trip, Asmon watches a video about a fancy Huawei laptop.
If you search 1989 it explodes.
which segues into a conversation about his broader view of capitalism.
So the U.S. doesn't practice free market capitalism? Wait, no, of course we don't. Like, I mean, not in an ultimate sense. Why would anybody? Oh God, it's a dishonest retard. I don't even want to read it. It's gonna make me mad. If you don't.
See what I mean? Like, the way... That is how Asmongold engages now with people in his chat that he disagrees with. Let's go back to the beginning of the video real fast, and let's just review how he was speaking to people in his chat he disagreed with back before his weird right-wing bent.
Some people find Alex Jones is dogmatic. More people don't want to talk. I think a process,
This
not
part.
without a trial. Is it right to kill terrorists?
This part.
Not without a trial. You don't just shoot people randomly. Who determines who a terrorist is? The person with the gun? What happens when they're wrong? Do you ever think about this? We have a system for dealing with people that break the law and are threats to society. Use the fucking system.
There is something, like, you can see the, like, genuine compassion and sincerity in his speech and in his, like, just general cadence there, right? And then if we go back to, I think we were around, let's see. Where was the part of the video we were at? Maybe I should have remembered the timestamp. Well, shit.
Of the evidence. Here's Asmon's reaction to the revelation that sized as having up to a 2-year margin of error
Talking.
for European countries.
This is one of the really weird things that... Are you kidding me?
Gimp out on. Don't. Maybe that's weird, but
That reaffirms what they already believe about themselves, they will instantly agree with it, right? And so because of that, you can prey on people's biases and you can take advantage of them that way.
Depends on how you qualify it, but generally speaking, there's no level of intelligence that immunizes from being taken advantage of or scammed.
I guess that clip alone kind of makes my point. Like, you see what I mean, right? Like, he comes off as, like, smug and authoritative in a way that he just didn't before. I don't know. I know that a lot of people who are, like, very casually aware of Asmongold are just gonna have a lot of assumptions about him. And I'm not defending him, obviously. I don't think I really need to point out how obvious it is that I'm not defending him. But I do think it's important to have a really accurate understanding of why people do what they do. And Asmongold is the largest political streamer on the planet. He is way bigger than Hassan even. So why he is saying what he's saying matters. Like, it matters. Just assuming that he's a grifter chasing the money, or that he got radicalized like any other person would, is somewhat irresponsible for us as progressives when we need to really analyze why the internet's largest streamer, or political streamer now, is not only right-wing, but is seemingly intentionally pushing right-wing politics that he is well aware are false, for the purpose of causing harm to the discourse. For fun, it would seem.
wait, no, of course we don't. Like,
Here's
I mean,
that
not in an ultimate sense. Why would anybody? Oh God, it's a dishonest retard. I don't even want to read it. It's gonna make me mad. If you don't have a regulated.
So yeah, like, I feel like those two clips side by side are probably the best example of how much Asmongold has fallen off as a human being. Like I feel like he's just become this bitter, hollow shell of what he once was, and it's really depressing, man. It really is. I'm sure Asmongold will at some point become aware of me talking bad about him, because he has gotten into fights with other streamers. I know that he's not down to do debates. He's been very open that he doesn't do debates, but man, I almost wish I could have like an off-stream IRL interaction with him of some kind. Just be like, dude, are you fucking with me? You're fucking with us, right? Like, you're doing a bit? I watched you back in the day. Like, I know when you're being real, and you've not been real for the last 3 years. I know it. Like, you're fucking with us, right? Are you actually, like, did you hit your head or something, or are you just fucking with us? Like, I wanna be able to ask him. I just want to be able to, because, like, not even, like, are you being real, or what the fuck happened to you? Just straight up, are you fucking with us? Well, I feel like he's doing... I want to call it a bit, but that trivializes it. It's not a bit, it's some sort of scheme. Some sort of really weird scheme, for lack of a better term. I don't know. I'm immensely disappointed. Never meet your heroes, as they say. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable, leave a like and a comment down below. It really helps the video and my channel a lot, and I appreciate it immensely. If you don't know what to say, comment alarm clock down below, or include it in your comment as like a code word to tell me you watched the video all the way to the end. I appreciate it a ton, it really does help. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon if you want to see more from me in the future and get notified when I upload or go live. And be sure to follow or join my fan Discord through the link down below. It's the main hub of my community and fan base, and I really do hope to see you folks there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.